Problems that make you angry are your calling. Look, hear me out. If veteran unemployment keeps you up at night, if organizational inefficiency makes your blood boil, if watching people get treated unfairly makes you want to flip a table, stop calling that a problem. That's your purpose talking. Last week, we rebuilt the first pillar, identity. We mined your military experience for the qualities that define who you are. Today, we tackle the second pillar, purpose. And we're going to find it in the place most people never look, your anger. In the military, your purpose was handed to you. The mission was clear, the objective was defined. Somebody else decided what mattered, and you executed. Look, that's gone now. And nobody told you that finding your own purpose requires a completely different muscle. Over the next 10 minutes, you're answering three questions that will extract your purpose signal from the noise. Grab your journal. This is the session that changes your trajectory. Let's go. But before we hit the questions, I need to reframe something for you because our culture has trained us to see anger as something to suppress, something unprofessional, something to manage. But why? Anger, specifically moral anger, the kind that rises when you see something broken, unjust, or inefficient, is the most reliable purpose signal that you have. It's your internal compass pointing at the problem you were built to solve. Think about it this way. In the military, you had mission clarity because someone assigned your purpose. Protect this position, train this unit, execute this operation. The anger you felt at the enemy, at the situation, at the stakes, that wasn't random, it was fuel. It drove you to perform. In the civilian life, nobody assigns your mission. So where does the fuel come from? It comes from the same place, anger. But now the anger is pointed at problems, not enemies. And those problems aren't distractions from your purpose. They are your purpose. Here's the framework we're using today. I call it the purpose trio. Frustration, the problem that makes you angry. This is the raw signal. Conviction, why you believe this problem must be solved. This is the fire behind the signal. And contribution, what you specifically can do about it given your talents and experience. This is the signal translated into action. Most people stop at frustration. They complain about problems but never connect the complaint to their calling. Today's questions walk you through all three levels, frustration to conviction to contribution. By the end of this session, you won't just know what makes you angry, you'll know why it makes you angry. And you'll start seeing how that anger connects to your next mission. Question one, what problems in the world genuinely frustrate you or keep you up at night? Look, I previewed this question last week, remember? You've had a full week to notice. Now it's time to get specific. Pause the video, write down every single thing that frustrates you, big or small, the state of veteran services, how your company runs meetings, the way your kid's school handles discipline, how political leaders communicate, all of it. No filter. Pause the video. List every frustration. Here's why this question matters. Your frustrations are not random. They cluster around themes. And those themes point directly at the problem domain where your purpose lives. Let me show you what I mean with real veteran responses and the purpose signals hidden inside them. Example 1. Veterans not getting hired because HR doesn't understand military experience. It makes me furious. This question is angry because a system is failing people they care about. This person is angry because a system is failing people that they care about. Their frustration isn't about jobs, it's about injustice. Qualified people being overlooked because of a language barrier. Their purpose direction might look like veteran career advocacy, HR consultant for military friendly hiring, Workforce development, talent acquisition at organizations that value military experience. Example 2. I can't stand watching organizations waste time with broken processes, meetings about meetings, reports nobody reads, decisions that nobody makes. This person sees waste like a platoon leader sees a bad patrol route. It's dangerous and unnecessary. Their frustration is about competence. Systems should work. People should execute. Time should not be wasted. Their purpose direction might look like operations management, process improvement, Lean Six Sigma implementation, organizational consultant, supply chain optimization. Example 3. People being treated differently based on things they can't control. In my unit, work ethic mattered, not your background. Why can't civilian workplaces work like that? This person carries military values of equal opportunity based on performance. Their frustration is about equity. They believe systems should reward effort and competence. Their purpose direction might look like EEO or DEI leadership, HR policy development, employee advocacy, organizational culture transformation, leadership development programs. Example 4. Young service members getting terrible transition advice. TAP is a checkbox. Nobody actually prepares them. This person is angry because the system that's supposed to help is underperforming. Their frustration is about accountability. Institutions should deliver on their promises. Their purpose direction might look like transition coaching, program development for veteran services, education, training, policy advocacy for better transition resources. Now look at your list. Circle the top 3 frustrations, and for each one, ask, what's the underlying issue that makes this so frustrating to me? Is it about fairness, competence, waste, failed promises, lack of care? Circle your top 3. What's the underlying issue for each? That underlying issue is your purpose theme. Write it down. Question 2. If you could solve one significant challenge facing society, business, or your community, what would it be? And why does this particular problem call to you? Pause the video. One challenge. Why it calls to you. This question moves you from frustration to conviction. Lots of things can frustrate you, but conviction means you believe you have something specific to contribute to that solution. It's the difference between complaining about the traffic and becoming an urban planner. The second half of this question, why does this particular problem call to you, is where the magic happens. Because the answer usually connects back to your identity, the qualities we extracted from last week. If your identity theme from last week was crisis leadership under pressure, and your frustration is veterans not getting adequate mental health support, your conviction is I'm built to lead in crisis situations, and veterans in mental health crises deserve someone who understands what they're going through. Look, that's not a job description, that's a calling. Or what if your identity theme was bringing order to chaos and your frustration is organizational waste? Your conviction might be I see broken systems others accept, and I have the discipline and strategic thinking to fix them. Now look at your answer. Does your chosen challenge connect to your identity theme from last week? If it does, you're on the right track. If it doesn't, dig deeper. The connection still might be hidden. Question 3. What injustices or inefficiencies do you find yourself constantly noticing and wanting to fix? Pause the video. What do you constantly notice? The word constantly is doing heavy lifting in this question. Question 1 asked, what frustrates you? This question asks, what you can't stop seeing. The difference matters. Your brain has a filtering system. Out of millions of inputs every day, it flags certain patterns for your conscious attention. The injustices and the inefficiencies you constantly notice are the ones your brain has flagged as this matters, even without you choosing to care. Why you can't stop seeing is where your purpose naturally lives. This is unconscious purpose. Your brain is already doing the work. It's already scanning the environment for the problems that you're wired to solve. This question just makes that unconscious process conscious. Here's a real example from a veteran. One of my clients kept saying he was frustrated with everything. We did this exercise and he realized every single frustration was about communication failures, bad briefings at work, misunderstandings in his marriage, politicians not speaking clearly. His brain was constantly flagging communication breakdowns. His purpose wasn't everything is broken. His purpose was I'm meant to help people communicate clearly. And guess what? He is now in change management, consulting, and he lives almost every single day. Look at your list. What's the pattern across your constant notices? That pattern is your purpose domain. All right, let's bring it together. You should now have 3 things written down. 1, your frustration list, the raw problems that trigger your anger. 2, your conviction statement, the one challenge that calls to you and why. And 3, your pattern scan, the injustices and inefficiencies your brain can't stop noticing. Look at all 3 answers and complete this sentence. I am called to blank because I can't stop seeing blank, and I believe blank. Here's an example. I'm called to help veterans find meaningful careers because I can't stop seeing qualified leaders get overlooked. And I believe military experience is one of the most valuable and untranslated assets in the workforce. Here's another example. I'm called to fix broken organizational systems because I can't stop seeing wasted time and talent, and I believe every team deserves efficient processes that respect their effort. That sentence, that's not a purpose statement yet. It's a purpose signal. We'll refine it, but it's the rawest, most honest version of why you're here. Here's your assignment before the next video. Write your I am called to sentence and post it in the comments. Let this community help you see what you might be too close to see yourself. Next, ask one person who knows you well, what do I complain about the most or talk about all the time? Their answer will either confirm or expand your purpose signal. And don't forget, download the Purpose Clarification Worksheet. It's in the description. It maps your frustrations to actual career domains. There's plenty more out there. It's just a few. Look, the military gave you a mission. Separation took it away. But your purpose, it never left. It's been there the whole time, disguised as frustration, disguised as anger, disguised as the thing you can't stop talking about at dinner. Stop apologizing for your anger. Start listening to it. Next video, we go deeper. We look at legacy, not the job you want, but what change you want to be remembered for creating. Because your purpose isn't about you. It's about the impact that you leave behind. Share this with a veteran who's been told to calm down when they're actually hearing their calling. Shepherd 1 out.
When you're ready, this is the next video. What do you want to be remembered for?